entering, and the captain on Tlhompho will follow. Ladies and gentlemen, as Coach Pitso Musimane exchanges pleasantries and greetings with his colleagues and opponents on Saturday, and asking visitors as our host. Thank you very much. I will proceed to acknowledge before I greet an honor to have been selected in their program of carrying out what they call FIFA Professional Football Case Studies. Host, Coach Steve Kompela and Captain Itumele Nkune, and also acknowledging Gustavo Payos as well as Judge Maluleka. Right away, we're going to start with the program that we're going to try to fast track. Obviously, as you know, we're talking to footballers. They just finished training and they want to go back and recuperate, and the coaches want to go back and check their notes and continue with their planning. And of course, the executives would like to go strategize further and see how much money they can put in the next conference already. You know, it's an element of foresight and vision. So we want to give everybody a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed, I'm going to ask our video operator to play the video, as I'm going to call Jessica Mutaung to advance immediately after that video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have started. A round of applause to yourself, and let's hope we're going to have a wonderful press conference.
Thank you, Vina. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for everybody being here. It's a very significant day for us, and I think this year really is a significant one for us as Kaizer Chiefs. As you know, our theme, or many of you may not know, but looking at 2018, our theme, one of the areas of focus is health and wellness. And I think it's very clear with the partnerships that we have embarked on, that we're taking health and wellness seriously. And we're saying the health of our business, the health of our staff, the health of our players, the health of our supporters, and hopefully the health of our nation, which is very important to us. And it's an honor to be here at MedShield. Thank you so much, Dr. Mulabi, for having us here, who are a medical scheme partner. And I think it's a wonderful marketing partnership, and I look forward to us doing exciting things into the future. I know that 2018 is also a special year for MedShield because you turn 50. So happy 50th to MedShield. We'll be joining you in 2020. For us, January is our birthday month. We've just turned 48, so I think a great way to commemorate and celebrate was to host this press conference. We also welcome a new partner to the fold, Kaizer, who are our Fusion Group Gap Cover partnership, and who are also involved in our employee wellness program, assist program. So a very interesting initiative for us to make sure that we provide health and wellness to our supporters and to our team. So we're excited about that, and I know that it'll be very complementary to the relationship that we have here. But today is significant as we welcome our FIFA delegation and Sis Pinky from SAFA. Thank you so much for being here, and we are truly honored to have been selected for this initiative, and we look forward to sharing the Chief story, the way we do business, and hopefully welcoming you closely into the Kaizer Chiefs family. So thank you very much for traveling, and Ahmed, it's always wonderful working with you. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the work CAF is doing. We're excited about what we're doing here. But really, at the end of the day, we're in the business of football, and it is really about the coaches and the players. Coach Pitso, Tlhompho, Lovely to have you. It's always nice to engage. This is a very big fixture, and I think it's befitting for us to be here today to engage in this manner. Coach Steve and the team and the players, we look forward to having a great weekend that not only delivers great football, but delivers a full experience for our supporters and for everyone who's going to be watching the game. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jessica, also. Vina and Jeff and Jessica have opened the press conference, so all I was asked to do is to welcome all of you. I'm not going to mention each and every individual. I just want to tell you that you are welcome at Medshield. In other occasions that I often attend, when they don't want to mention people individually, they say all protocol observed. So I'm going to say all protocol observed. So you are very welcome. All the people that have been mentioned, including the Chiefs, visitors from CAF and from FIFA, the two coaches, the players who are here. And I want to say thank you to my executive team members who are also here. We are all together, put this together, and we are very proud to be associated with the brand that we are associated with as Medshield. As we saw, we have only one vision: to care about all of you, whether you're Chiefs, Sundowns. So Sundowns must also come on board. So we want to care of all. Because in a nutshell, this is a very momentous occasion for us with having this partnership. Can I just share? We've just been to the end of the year last year. Our partnership is just about around a year. And I can't say for sure, but I am almost certain that by the time we have the industry figures for 2017, in all likelihood, we will be, for 2017, the medical scheme that will have grown the fastest. We grew by 7.4% in an industry that is stagnant, and I think our partnership has had quite a lot to do with the exposure that we have had. So our partnership really with Kaizer Chiefs has given our brand access to people who love soccer, and it also emphasizes the importance of the healthcare benefits that you can have. Sport, very important for health, but insurance cover is also important. So this, by selecting us as your healthcare partner, I think it's been very, very important. And having both you, Kaizer Chiefs, here and Sundowns at our offices is really been an amazing experience. And we really appreciate, and we are looking forward to a good game on Saturday, and may the best team win. Thank you.
I managed to lose 25 kilos. That was the journey with Medshield, and the influence of Kaizer Chiefs as a brand in terms of health and wellness. It was between me and losing the job. So if you see me running, every day and think it's for fun, just know it was for the stomach and the school fees. Ladies and gentlemen, having said that, we'd like to thank Dr. Mulwabi for your generosity. It's indeed having been a wonderful journey. We're getting now into football matters. If the coaches and the captains can take a sip of the drinks that they have in their hands and be ready for members of the media. Another announcement is that there's been a matter of tickets. As you will be aware, earlier I mentioned that the game was supposed to kick off at 3:30. Now it's at 20:15. So the members or the supporters who had bought the tickets earlier, they will be having 3:30 on their tickets. They need to go back to CompuTicket and exchange that ticket. And lately, I'm told it was not many of the supporters. So inconvenience will be minimum, and where we need to extend a hand to help, we will definitely help. And also reported in your media, will ask his counterpart, Mr. Pitso Musimani, will be ushered Toby to indicate on the. Yeah. And we're moving over to Captain of Kaizer Chiefs, Itumele Nkune, to join his coach. And Shompo Kekano. Thank you very much to the two coaches for indulging us with their time, as well as the two captains. Right away, we're going to go on with the business and start with the home team with Coach Steve Kompela. And I'm going to check if you still remember 219, Coach.
I still remember.
219, Coach?
United.
Tunaiden. Tunaiden. Not. You don't remember.
I think that one is meant for the two of us at the village.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's keep it a secret.
Okay. Your Turkish days have gone by with history. We'll check with Coach Musimani. Kalau Opo Gevma, you can repeat or respond in English.
Good afternoon.
There you go. Thank you very much, Coach Steve Kompela. The game is coming up on Saturday. It's a big one. It's a big one. Just as an indication, if you and our colleagues at Kaizer Chiefs will tell you, the messages that we receive from our friends and family, all of them is their birthday on Saturday. They're asking for a ticket. All of them, there's some special event at home and they would like to bring their girlfriend to the stadium. And when you go around and move around, you'll see this week people went to work wearing their colors of the two clubs. So that is the size and the magnitude of this match. Coach, take us through the build-up towards this match. What is happening in your camp?
Right, good afternoon, everybody. And I don't know if I'm okay.
Carry on, Coach.
Thank you. I think for now, Vinawe, we're still taking more of a preparation physically, but at the back of it, you can still feel that your mind, your emotions want to kick in. Still early. Thank you very much, man. Still early. And I hope come tomorrow is Thursday, you will start to feel the heat. Then Friday, but sports people must always remain calm, irrespective of the activities. It's going to be a wonderful event, but it is still 11v11. Two teams fighting for championship, a gap of 5 points. A win for us, hopefully, narrows that to 2. And as we said before, it's game on. And I'm sure Sundowns would not want to allow us to get anywhere close. Our home match. And the expectation as you drive around, you go to filling station, by your gate as you enter home, you feel the reminder. People keep telling you, keep asking you. The obligation is there. But again, as coaches and players, we keep narrow focus. Come Saturday, 8:15, we should all be ready and hope there are no mishaps. A good game for people. And the Kaizer Chiefs coming up victorious.
Thank you, Coach. As we coming to FNB Stadium, do you still have memories of Chiefs coming to Loftus to beat you, or is water under the bridge? Please give us a kind of atmosphere that is going on in your camp at the moment and your preparations for Saturday.
Yeah. Am I on? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for bringing us here, and we feel welcomed. I think Dr. Muya spoke that the safest thing is to say all protocols observed. So all protocols observed. Ospinky from SAFA, I understand we have international friends from FIFA. So you're all welcome. Yeah. Yes, Vina, I still have the memories. But it's part of football. And it's normal, you know. So we can choose which memories do we want to remember. But I can also have other memories at FNB Stadium. So you choose yours, I'll choose mine.
For the benefit of visitors and others, choose one, please, and just flag it. Remind us.
Well, many occasions coming out of there being victorious. I remember those, not occasions. So those are my memories, FNB Stadium. But being, every match is a different game. And I respect Kaizer Chiefs because the last 2 games we played against Kaizer Chiefs, we lost the matches. So it's important also to keep your humility and respect football also, you know. I think Kaizer Chiefs has turned the corner. If you look at the recent form, they've been a bit consistent more than us, you know. We've been inconsistent with our results. But, you know, games like this, they're determined, they've got their own history, and you can never tell, you know. But the team is okay. We just don't have everybody fit, as I would have loved to. We've got a lot of players who don't have a 100% top shape physical condition. But we do have enough to compete and give the supporters what they deserve, and also the media to have something to write about. All I like is let's have goals. If it's a draw, I would love to have a 3-3 than 0-0. If it could be a difference of a goal, let it be 5-4, beautiful. Let's not have 0-0, please. That's all.
On that note, I'm going to move over to the 2 captains. We'll start with Thompo. Just give us the mood in your camp and perhaps share some of the discussions you have with your team.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us here. On behalf of Mamelodi Sundowns as players, we looking forward to the match. Obviously, we're excited to play Kaizer Chiefs in FNB, where everyone is going to be glued to the match. Look, as players, I think we are preparing very well, I think, and we're hoping to come victorious come Saturday night.
Thank you very much, Tumelo Nkune. The same question, because it's closer to home. I would just like you to indicate to members of the media, supporters, and give just a few warning shots to Mamelodi Sundowns. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, no, everything has been going well. We're preparing very well. We're all excited and looking forward to Saturday. As you know, Chiefs and Sundowns, it's another big fixture after the Soweto Derby. It's a big match. Players are excited. The fans are excited. We had to play 3 matches just after the Christmas break, but everyone was just focusing on the Sundowns game, saying we must beat them. And yes, it's our job. We have to deliver the results. We have to entertain our people. But I don't agree with Coach Pizzo when he says, yes, we all want to see goals, but that means we shouldn't have goalkeepers on Saturday. Because I wouldn't want to concede 3 goals. So we want to keep a clean sheet. And I'm glad that our strikers have their scoring boots. We've been scoring goals lately, which is something we've been struggling on. But again, we've conceded goals in our past 2 games, and we are all motivated by clean sheets. And it's been disappointing in the past 2 games how we gave away those goals. But we're working hard on it, and we want to score as many as we can, because the record so far, we've played 18 matches, we've conceded only 11, the best defensive team in the league, and we want to keep it that way. So we won't make it any easier for you. And I got a message from George. You said I must stay in my line. I mustn't leave the goalpost. But you know, I've dealt with you before, Bafana, even in the league. So
There
I'm
you
ready.
go.
Bring it on.
Thank you very much. We're going to now give the 2 coaches and the players a round of applause. Thanks very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be your turn now as members of the media to pose questions. Please, Coach Musimani played in Greece, Coach Kompela in Turkey. We've got 2 top-notch captains of international stage as well. So they will do the presentation. So yours is to ask the question. And we're going to have the roving mic ready. I saw one already. Please, Temba, mention your...
Temba Shabalala, Joseph from Sports. To both coaches, the preparations seem to look on them. He lost them. Are we about to see him, getting a run against his former team? And speaking to him about the Sundowns match, are you preparing him as one of your players facing enemies, or are you using his previous life, as an point to prove to Sundowns? And Coach Peter, knowing how you have dealt with him and he knows in and out of Sundowns, how are you preparing for him should he get a run?
Yeah, Leo has moved on, and we respect that. And we were, I think Steve is happy that I've handed him Leo. I did not have to. I could keep him if I want. So that's generosity we have. Humility and generosity we have in our team. And he's happy that I gave him somebody who scores goals, which is beautiful, I've seen a lot of players coming from Sundowns and scoring against Sundowns. You can mention the whole history from Elazar, Rogers, Ramaji. You can just go on Rama Mpahlele. Everybody scores against us. It's okay. It's part of football. It's not personal. And you can't even control it, whether you like it or not. It's the game. Leo has been good to us. We have been good to him. We launched him in South Africa. And I think he left on a good note. There was never issues. And he has to move on with his life. And why not? And he went to a very good team. If we were spiteful, we would not allow him to go to our direct competitors. But we have gone above that. We are no longer there in that space. Last year we gave Piet West 2 of our players to win the championship. That's how good we are. We gave them Sotsongele and Malajila. And Malajila scored the most important goal 2 games before the second last game for the championship. So that's how football should be. Should not be rivalry. And I can guess, I think it's the same thing from Kaizer Chiefs. They gave us George Lebese, It's beautiful. It should never be rivalry that is emotional. It should be proper competition in football. But Leo knows all our secrets. He moves with a booklet. And probably has given over to Steve. you know. But he knows our weaknesses and he knows our strengths. So we also know his strengths and his weaknesses, you know. So it depends on the day, and I don't have a problem if Leo scores against us. Why not? Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And how are you going to use him going forward?
Yeah, Shaba, what Chiefs wants, Chiefs gets. When we put our eye onto something, whatever it takes, we just get it. I'm not gonna go further. The Castro issue one, we saw him in Polokwane, and in as much as the coach says he's got their DNA, they've got his as well. They know how he breathes. They know if he goes there, where is he gonna end up? So they've got his profile. So whichever way it is, in as much as they know much about him and he knows about them, it's about us applying ourselves and bring our own game model. With regards to whether he's playing or not, I would say that to you if you're interviewing me outside in his absence. Because if you say he's starting, then he's gonna play. If you say he's not starting, he's still gonna play. So let's leave the coach with a nice headache. And then we'll see you on Saturday. But on a serious note, he's been training very well, highly motivated, and he's getting great support from his teammates. And it's even nicer that him and Paez can speak Spanish, and then Itu is there, Shabas are there, George. It's just a great family environment at Chiefs. And we're looking forward to him maturing with us, because integration is not easy. When you get to the mid-season, how you integrate players is a bit of a challenge. And I was shocked that he immediately settled, and he's fusion, as I said earlier on. So we hope he can only build from the goal he scored, classic of him. Inside the box, top class. He had no moment to think about it. Instinct kicked in. And the only time you act out of instinct, it is when it is embedded in your characters and qualities. That's him.
Yo, Coach, the only thing that I can pick up there is Motaung. You know, lions, when they are targeting, you know, their prey, once they've done that, they're going to get it.
Done.
And now you talk about instincts, and that's one of the qualities of lions. So Mr. Motaung, our chairman, where he is, I know he's checking our Twitter, live tweeting at Kaizer Chiefs. One question in technology age, we picked up one from our Twitter handle at Kaizer Chiefs. Coach, it talks about Castro. It says, how is the striking partnership of Paez and Castro likely to be? And it comes from one at Brakush.
There's a great possibility. You can't rule that out. Let's see what happens on Saturday. But for now, there's a great possibility. Could be. And there's nothing wrong with that. Both players, great players. And they play top football. Both strikers, slightly different qualities. They could play together. And it is possible that they can play together.
Same to you, Coach. The last one from the social media fraternity at Mpondwana M is asking, when is Coach going to play Rama Mpahlele?
Rama could play anytime. If I say I'm not going to play him or I'm going to play him, I'm opening myself up again. I can only give his status where he is. He's ready. He's come from a serious setback of an injury. He's recovered fully. He went through all the protocol in terms of surgery, rehab, fitness, and he's made the squad, because there's a team, there's a squad, there's a club. He's made the squad. At any given time, he could break into the team. Highly capable, can play as center back, can play as a right back. So where we have challenges or limitations, when there's a need to play him, we're very comfortable to play him. But the beauty of it is that we've been playing Teenage, Tawa, Kadoso. There's also been Siangeza, and when they were not there, they did tremendously well. And Rama could come in and fit in anyway. And he's one of those people who have the Sundowns DNA as well.
Itu, a quick one to you from I'm Philly. It's the last one from social media, ladies and gentlemen. Will you win on Saturday? It's a simple question. I'm Philly is asking and is waiting for the answer. Mandla is tweeting live as we're speaking.
The answer is simple, yes.
Thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open for the last two questions to the players because most of the questions I know are going to come up at the one-on-one interviews. Let us get a few, two to the players. Start at Rovi Mike at the corner.
I thought I was cutting in front of Velile. Musibudi Whitehead, Kaya FM. My question is for Itu. You made mention of this being a big fixture and compared it to the Soweto Derby. I don't know if it's been your experience, but certainly mine over the last few years, that last 2 or 3 years, that this fixture and Sundowns against Pirates seems to be attracting more excitement from the general public. Has that been your experience, that Sundowns and Chiefs seems to be getting more excitement from the fans than Sundowns and Pirates? And why is it that this game between yourselves and Sundowns seems to produce more in the way of entertaining football and goals than the Soweto Derby?
To be quite honest, I was saying it in a way that when both teams are doing well, obviously the supporters are going to want to watch it live at the stadium, and that's what's been happening. Since Sundowns were crowned the champions of Africa, they've attracted their supporters back to the stadium. They want to watch the champions play. And even with us, we're a big club in South Africa with a big crowd. So I don't blame the fans at times when they don't come to the matches because we're not giving them what they expect from us, which is entertainment and results. So when we're struggling on the field, they don't come. When we are doing well, they come. And you've seen even when we went to Pretoria, it was packed. And we had more fans than the home team. And everywhere we go, that's what happens. We fill up the stadiums. This past weekend, we were playing away, but it felt like it was our home game. So when Kaizer Chiefs win matches, we attract our supporters to the stadium. So we just have to keep winning.
Thank you very much, Velile.
Thank you. You're on the bench, and I look at the competition within the team. The Champions League will be starting soon. How is this kind of competition, especially with the new arrivals, being embraced within the team? Because it's always key when you see a strong team, but also how is it received within the team? And also, Ito, you spoke about not conceding this coming weekend. And I'm sure you are also taking to, you're also looking at the fact that there's Brocky on the other side and knowing the history between the two of you.
Thank you. Let's get on with it. We'll start with Flampa.
Yeah, really, I think with the number of players that we just signed, I think it's always nice to have them in the team, because the team like Mamelodi Sundowns, we have set ourselves goals that we want to achieve in our playing careers. So we want to go back to Africa and try to win the Champions League again. So with the number of players that we have, I think they just want to strengthen the team, and I think everyone is good enough to start the match at Sundowns. So we have seen over the weekend 4 of the guys that would normally start were on the bench, and the other guys started and they won the match for us. So everyone is vital to the team, and as players, I think we have to encourage each other and make sure that we're there for the match. Thank you.
Itu, clean sheet. Brocky.
Yeah, I mean, it's every goalkeeper's goal to keep a clean sheet. We hate conceding. I hate conceding even at training. So when it comes to matches, I want to keep a clean sheet. And me versus Brocky, I wouldn't really make it more like a rivalry. there will be Chiefs playing Sundowns on the night, but I will have my defenders that will have to deal with Brocky. I'll just be there, guiding them, telling them where Brocky is, so that I don't have to make saves on the night.
Thank you, Itu. Thank you for that one. This is the last question we're taking from the floor before we close.
My question is for Itu Melenkune, Len Moleko from ANN7. Itu, I'm here. Last week after the game with Baroka, post-match, Willard Katande mentioned that you guys are starting to take your title charge seriously. Is that the mood in the camp that you guys have sort of like sat down and started believing that you guys are serious title challengers and you are gunning for Sundowns because there's only like 5 points separating the two of you guys?
Yeah, obviously this game will be a turning point for us as a team. And we as the senior players at the club, we have the privilege of being given the time with the players. Then we talk, we plan. There's coaches plan, there's clubs plan, and there's players plan, where we set ourselves targets. And we know we've dropped unnecessary points in the early stages of the season. And we told ourselves that, guys, in our plan, we failed to achieve A, B, C, and D. So in the next coming matches, January matches, which will be the decider now, whatever the results are and whatever happens. So we told ourselves we'll be playing 4 matches, that's 12 points. And we already won 2 out of the 3 and drew 1. So we collected 7 points. So we just have to keep pushing, and come Saturday, it won't be any different. It's part of our goal, it's part of our January goal. And we're gonna sit down again with the coach's permission as players and remind each other how far are we from our target. So we've always had plans, even at the beginning of the season, and we'll keep pushing until we achieve what we set ourselves.
Itu, in closing, your message to the supporters who will be coming to the stadium and watching and listening all over the world.
Yeah, my message to the Kosi Nation is please come in numbers, come and support the team. We've been doing well under your support, with your support. So please come in numbers and witness great football on Saturday night. And again, please be safe on the roads. Please be safe. And KC1 team, I'm a Kosi for life.
Thank you very much. Coach, closing remarks from you. 34 points, Sundowns, 29 points, Kaizer Chiefs, and 18 games played. Where are we, and what's your indicator?
We still have 12 matches to go for. Kill this one over the weekend, and there's still plenty again. We're not going to win the championship on Saturday. They are not either. But it's one match at a time. I hope everybody enjoys the occasion. Coaches and players focus on the match. Supporters be entertained. We're looking forward to the match.
Thank you very much, Trompo. Give us the same from your side to your supporters.
Yeah, we urge the Yellow Nation, Masandawana, to come in numbers on Saturday to come and support the team. Obviously, we want to go there and make sure that we entertain them well. Thank you.
You are allowed to say Minwana Pezul. Coach Pito Musimani, your message to the supporters and your indication in terms of the league positions.
Yeah, I just want to correct a few things. E2 made it's an error, but it's okay. That they had more supporters than us at the Loftus last time. No, it's a big mistake. No, your numbers are not right. You used to, Gitu. You used to before. Not anymore. The other thing is that. Yes, we're playing a good team that has a better defensive record than us. I mean, but I like to look at the opposite side. I think we score more, and it's a fact. So I appreciate open game. I appreciate attack. That's why I'm talking about 4-4, 4-3. because that's what I want, you know. But we will respect the Chiefs. They've done very well. And I think you can rest. Maybe Broke might not start. We didn't bring Broke to win a game against Kaizer Chiefs. And we didn't bring Broke at Mamelodi Sundowns to put us on the top of the log. He found us there. So Broke is coming to help us on Champions League. He scored 10 goals in Champions League, in Confederation Cup. And that's why we spend money on him, because he can help us on the continent. You know, I think the guys we have at the moment, they've put us on the log, top of the log. They're still capable of leading us, and I think you saw it on Saturday. Before anybody came on, the game was already wrapped up with the guys that we've been with and we believe in, you know. So, yeah, a good game. We will try and play proper. Maybe a different approach to this. Maybe it's a hint to Steve. I don't think we'll be all over the place. Expansive football that we always play, you know. So if we win, we'll be good. If we don't win, we'd like the points difference to be the same with Kaizer Chiefs as after the match. And I think Kaizer Chiefs is a good team. They're capable of winning the league. 5 points is not enough. So we should just be cautious and be respectful on the game. We should not be too emotional and look at the derby, because all the derbies we've been aggressors all the time. We've been having the ball in FNB Stadium. On all the games, we have the ball, and we're playing on one side, the other side. So this time, maybe we should play this side a little bit and see how it can go. A different approach, you know. So you can have the ball this time. I'm giving it to you.
Thank you, Coach. And before I let you go, I'm going to break in transmission and go commercial with a video clip. Thank you. Just take your breath and sip a little bit. We'll be closing now.
Scheme cover you when you need it. The smart choice is a medical scheme, and that plays ball. My parents didn't just get a medical aid. They got medical paid.
There you go. Thank you very much, members of the media. You saw the numbers and you know what to do if you don't have medical aid. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this section of our program. Just before we do the closure, I would like to indicate that members of the media kindly assist in passing the messages of arrive early at the stadium. 5:30, we'll have the gates opened, and members of the public who've got the tickets to enter the stadium, and those that are driving with the parking ticket, so that we have a smooth entry to the stadium. And we also ask members of the media to pass on the messages of safety when you are in the stadium and outside of the stadium, and arrive alive to the stadium and back home. So to make this beautiful game to be what it is, watched by billions, let us help each other. Members of the media, you are integral to the plan. I'm going to ask the two teams, guided by Toby and the photographers, to say how the two coaches must stand and TV. But at this stage, I'd like to thank the two teams. It is Pretoria against Johannesburg, others say Soweto against Mamelodi. And just as part of Know Your Game, I will be conducting a telephone meeting with Tulani. And in that compliance document, there is element of team colors. And I'm sure he's going to say you play in blue, we play in gold. But advise your supporters as well to avoid clashes. There's no supporter section there. Maybe we must advise PSL that they must wear other color, because the stadium will be gold and black. And we'd like to take this opportunity to FIFA delegates that we hope that you had a glimpse of what we're able to offer and to suffer, and more so our sponsors, Medfield. You've been wonderful. You've been wonderful and generous, and we'd like to thank you for that. Two teams, thank you very much, and I've got something coming from Michael Jordan saying just play, have fun, enjoy the game, and that is Michael Jordan. My name is Vina Maposa, Corporate Communications Manager for Kaizer Chiefs. Thank you. We're going to thank you.
Coach, obviously another big game against Kaizer Chiefs. The last time we also lost at Loftus. What's your approach going to be like this time versus the last time they came to you guys at Loftus?
Oh, we'll take a proper approach. We should respect them. Try as much as possible to look after the game and progress progressively with the game. I would not say that we'll try and play the way we always play. We'll try and score goals because we have been scoring goals, but it's important for us to improve on our defense.
Looking at previous matches, Kaizer Chiefs usually were on the other side of the field, as you did mention earlier on. Have you found that that's a different approach that they're taking now, especially with the personnel that they've brought in now during the January transfer?
Well, they've been doing that all the time, so I don't think they will change, in my opinion, and I don't think we should change in our approach. But what's important is to, as I said, to respect the game and try and come out with the result.
Looking at the title charge, you can argue that you gave them a lifeline in October last year. They're just 5 points away from you now. Are they a threat, or you're not looking down below, you're just concentrating on West Ham outside?
Look, we have to concentrate on what is in our hands. And what is in our hands is that we are on top of the log. So we need to focus on a game whilst managing, staying on top of the log. 5 points is nothing. 5 points can be easily overturned, but also 5 points is also means something as much as it means nothing. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's 5 points, so you got to. It means Sundowns has to win lose 2 games in a row, and Kaizer Chiefs to win 2 games in a row to can overcome 5 points. And yeah, it's not as easy as you can say, because we are not consistent. They are not consistent either. So as I said, it's a very awkward league this year.
Now, balancing things, February is around the corner. CAF is about to start. They obviously don't have that headache. You have that headache in terms of consolidating your players and which ones you use for which games. Do you feel that gives them an advantage, or like Mamelodi Sundowns, you don't have those kind of excuses?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. We are 2 different teams with 2 different visions and objectives. Our vision is to do well in Champions League and win Champions League. Of course, for you to win the Champions League, you need always win the league or come second, you know. And if you look at the big teams, the history of the big teams, If you don't win the league, then try and come second at least. And we have done that for the last 4 years in a row at Sundowns. It's either we win it or we come second. So it hasn't been bad. And then we've been 3 years in CAF, in Champions League. First year was not good. The second year we won it. The third year was unfortunate because of how we lost it with penalties to Wydad, and they went to win it. That shows that we have capacity to, we could have won it also had we gone through. But we have another opportunity now with the Champions League, so we play different. We have got different programs, and we are forever having games in hand. And because of the Champions League, so the games in hand are going to start again, and games in hand are not games won. I think SuperSport has showed you that, same as us last year. Games in hand are never won, so it's a difficult program. We have to go with it the way it is.
Just final one, coach. Your medical room, is it full or?
Yeah, Bengali came and he still has a little bit of niggling injuries. You can see that it's not fresh. Capella hasn't been back, but hopefully he was training today, full training, so he looks okay. And Nonga also looks better, not fully fit, coming back. Yeah, those are the few injuries that we have and we have to look after.
That's pretty much it. Thanks, coach. Okay.
Are you going or give us?
You can kick it off.
Steve, the game on Saturday, do you regard that as a potential title decider, considering that only 5 points separate the two teams?
It's a crucial match. One, it's a match where you can close the gap or you can open the gap. Sundowns are likely to open the gap, and we are likely to close the gap by 2 points. And it needs you to focus and go into the match with the understanding that it's a similar 11v11 match, but stakes are a bit higher. It is a crucial match, and I'm sure Sunday morning when you wake up, the readings on the table would be giving such a message.
Coach, January seems to be a good hunting time for you. Last year, after the CAF break, you went on a winning streak. Already now as well, you collecting points. Are you worried that it has become such a trend that at some point in February or as the season goes, you tend to just get off the track, and that's where it's most crucial for you?
It's very important, more especially when there's a few number of matches left to win the championship, that you get that momentum. For now, we're having it, so we just have to keep pushing. And I did not look at it like that. I'll have to go back and check what that means. Does it have anything to do with how we condition them? Because there are stages where you condition a team and then they are on peak and then they drop again. So it's got a whole lot of other things, whether it's scientific, whether it's coincidence, it is by design. We'll look at that. I didn't look at it. But all one could say now is that I hope we don't drop, collect as many points as possible, because we're left with 10, 12 matches. It's crucial, and we need to close the gap between us and Sundowns.
Coach, is Kaizer Chiefs serious title contenders this season?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are in it. There's 5 points gap, and a win will make it 2. And there's still 10, 12 matches, as we said. We are in it. We are in it. We just have to keep with them. There's going to be a breaking point.
The addition of the new players, Coach Castro and Janga, the guys that came in, how are they gelling into the team? We know Castro's already put his name on the score sheet, but just looking forward and the games that remain, how do you plan on sort of like integrating them fully into the squad as you are now on the charge to the title?
I think the integration is quite difficult. It's not easy to get somebody into family and immediately get them understand how you operate. But I think ours was assisted by the fact that, one, we knew Castro and he knows us and he wanted to come here. And when he went in, he scored again. He's been training very well. So it has made it a bit easier. Mahlasel, unfortunately, is injured. And then Changasi as well is starting to come in. You even see it in our matches that, okay, this one, even at training, you pick it up from the feel and the rhythm. The ones who've been with us, they're in the groove. But those who are just coming in, you feel a gap. So we're trying to close that gap. And it is something that is, you can't touch, you can't see. It is a feel based on how they perform, even in a match. There's a couple of things that we pick up from him. Now we have to play to his strength. because he has given us an indication that I'm strong here. So you try your utmost best as a coach to say, let's keep him in the box. Let's try push him towards his strength, because you don't want him all over where he ends up now doing something that is unfamiliar and then it works against him. His quality doesn't show. Play him to his strength.
The goals have started coming, coach. What is it that you did different from when the season started to now?
Maybe luck.
And also taking into account last season around this time,
yeah,
that's when Chiefs also found their scoring moves.
Yeah, exactly what you said earlier on. Maybe this is a period where the gods of football are looking at us. It's our turn. The sun has shone now for us, so we'll have to be ready for it. 2 goals previous matches, 2 Polokwane, 2 Baroka. It's nice to see that in your striker scoring. I'm happy for Moon as well. He's scoring beautiful goals. He's got good goal scoring instinct. We hope Paez will get the same form when Parker comes back, your Zumas. It's nice to see that, and it gives the team confidence. And now it gives you hope that the draws you played, at the back of maybe 1 goal, there's a possibility you could have won it.
Coach, Itumeleng Khune earlier on spoke about the players getting together and speaking about the belief of going for the title fight. As the coach, what part do you play in getting the players to all believe in a goal that you have and a goal that you would like them to have as well?
To me, leadership is about influence. Now it goes beyond technical issues. It is more about leadership and own-up and responsibilities. Coaches must understand that these are partners in business, and football players must not be treated as commodity. They cannot always be instructed. They must be given the responsibility, the roles to be decision makers. They must carve their way and open their own objectives and try achieve. When somebody says to you, I want you to achieve this, it is not the same as when you take a resolution yourself that I want to achieve this. So that's what we do at Chiefs, and allowing players to be more responsible, because it is only through sports that we can have a responsible man out there. Because at the back of their responsibility in their sporting world, then in their real world, they will assume the same in terms of being responsible. So they do take initiatives, and we allow for that. Players must be given responsibility and must be guided. Where they do well, you guide and give responsibility. And where you think they can do better, that's where then you make recommendations and try rectify mistakes so that they can grow.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mare.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. How are you, my
Looking at you over here?
Good, man.
I'm doing great, man. You?
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
To see
Thank you for having us here.
And club football.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Please tell us about the initiative that saw you guys coming to Africa and to have a case study with the 2 South African big clubs.
Absolutely. So for FIFA, it's a great pleasure to be in Africa. It's a great pleasure to be in South Africa, especially to highlight 2 clubs that are very professional clubs in the region. So we've created last year, for the first time, a set of FIFA professional football case studies at FIFA. This program is led through the Department of Professional Football at FIFA, especially my boss, Mr. James Johnson. He's the head of the department, and we created this idea in order to share knowledge, to share best practices, to increase the relationship between FIFA and all global stakeholders. So these case studies go beyond clubs. We're highlighting, of course, professional football clubs, but we are also highlighting leagues. We're highlighting player associations through this program. And the idea is throughout the long term of the project to gather a massive amount of knowledge and be able to have a sort of knowledge hub that provides all stakeholders around the world with specific examples of professional football stakeholders that are doing things in an exceptional way, and be able to really share those practices and inspire clubs to take it to the next level. So for us, the visit to Kaizer Chiefs is going to be highlighting their village, it's going to be highlighting their stadium, as well as the culture that they've built around the club. So the professional aspects, what is the club doing off the field? What is the club doing from an administrative perspective? What is the club doing from a sporting perspective? And it'll take care of all of those elements throughout a set of one printed book, which will have a lot of the information about what the club is doing, what the club is doing in a special way, as well as a set of videos that will promote the club itself. At the same time, we've taken an opportunity of doing one visit, 2 clubs. So we've also visited our friends at Orlando Pirates Football Club. We're also a great example of a club that's doing things very professionally. So we had the opportunity already this week to visit the Pirates, and we had the opportunity to highlight their stadium, the Orlando Stadium, as well as Rand Stadium, that they use as a training facility. So we were able to interview several of the top executives at the club. We were very impressed with what we saw with Orlando Pirates, all the way from the chairman to the general manager and all of the staff that we had the opportunity to interact. At the same time, we had several interviews with the individuals at Stadium Management South Africa, which are clearly running a very good operation in regards to at least the 2 venues that we've seen so far, and we're looking forward on Saturday to see a 3rd venue that is operated as well by that organization. So overall, for us, it's a great opportunity to be here in Africa, specifically in South Africa and Johannesburg, and highlight 2 clubs that are doing things very professionally, and hopefully they'll be able to inspire more clubs around the world with their story and the way that they're doing things at their clubs.
Wonderful. We about a few months back in Johannesburg, we hosted the FIFA president. He did say that he would want to come and have people come and help in terms of development of football in Africa. Are you guys also coming under that program, or it's a separate thing?
So, I mean, for our president at FIFA, Mr. Gianni Infantino, it's top priority. Africa, but of course the world. So we have 211 federations around the world, 211 members of FIFA, which we treat the same way. So we're trying to make sure that throughout all the programs that FIFA is establishing, that it covers all of our federations and by extent to all the members of those federations, whether it be the leagues or the clubs. Specifically for FIFA department where I directly work in, the professional football department, one of the most important things is to really start reaching out further to the clubs, to the leagues, to the player associations, and building relationships, because at the end of the day, there is no football without clubs, there is no football without players, there is no football without structured leagues. So we want to make sure that all of those stakeholders are taken into account from a consulting perspective and as well from a decision-making perspective.
Okay, perfect. Can we say FIFA is coming, for instance, is coming down to help study African football, especially at this time at the club level, and see where in terms of improvements can be, in terms of moving forward, in terms of obviously highlight all the great things that's happening?
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Absolutely. So, I mean, when you look at Africa, the amount of potential that we have in this region is massive. At the club level, you see every year the CAF Champions League growing. You see the CAF Champions League becoming a more important tournament, generating more revenues. And the way that you generate more revenues is by having better clubs, better performance on the field, better experience for the fans, a better product on TV. And if you see all of those elements come together, Africa will become even a more stronger football region. And FIFA is right there. Right there, making sure that it's a partner to each one of the federations, a partner to CAF, and make sure that we continue to grow the game in the region of Africa, because there's so much potential, and I'm sure that we'll see much more growth in this region in the coming years.
Perfect. In terms of the revenue, because the growth of football has to balance with the product must be good, and then the revenue will also come and match up, and the revenue will go back to develop the game in terms of the grassroots. Is there an element of saying as people, look, we need to come and help in terms of the getting the revenue into to develop the commercial side to help, especially African football, to be up there amongst the top footballing content?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a clear program out there. It's called club licensing, and club licensing is led by CAF in the African region, and it's mandated to be implemented by each one of the federations in Africa. So all clubs that participate in the CAF Champions League have to be licensed. They have to go through a club licensing system that is tailored for that purpose specifically, to professionalize the clubs, whether it's administration, whether it's in finance, whether it's in sporting and legal or administration. We want to see that those standards grow. Of course, we have set criteria that is realistic at the moment, but every year you have to aim at growing and surpassing all of those standards. So if you establish the right standards and you're able to meet those standards, but at the same time set strategic goals for the future of each club, we'll see each one of the clubs improving, increasing in professionalization. And the clubs that we've seen this week in South Africa are great examples of that. They're clubs that are operating fully professionally. They have a full-time staff that is very impressive. They have facilities that are top quality around the world, and they have a great coaching staff on both sides. So we're excited to see what's going on here in South Africa, and we hope that the case studies that we'll produce will inspire the rest of the region to use it as an example, and they will also learn from them. But of course, in the future, when we do other case studies around the region, the clubs in South Africa will be able to learn from those case studies as well.
Is it a program that is going to continue going, or is it just for now, for FIFA, do you have kind of the data in terms of how does football run in Southern Africa, or is it going to be a continuous?
It's a continuous, so it's a continuous program. So the FIFA Professional Football case studies were launched last year, but it's going to be a long-term project. So the idea is to, we have over 2,700 men's clubs around the world that are playing in the first-tier division. Yeah. So clearly, we want to highlight as many of them as possible that are doing things very well, and therefore, this is a long-term project, and we hope to every year be able to highlight more and more clubs, not only in Africa but around the world.
Tell me, because we're moving into affairs in terms of FIFA now, I'm just tweaking it a little bit into the national teams. Are you also guys trying to lay groundwork, because if the clubs are doing so well, that will trickle into the national team, so that come the time where we're going to have maybe extra teams from Africa, there's kind of proper setups and support, and if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, national teams depend on clubs.
Yes.
If clubs are developing players at a younger age, if clubs are developing players not only from a sporting perspective, but a mental perspective, a physical perspective, it all starts at the clubs. So if the clubs are well structured, if the clubs are providing the right coaches and the right infrastructure to their players, you'll see a massive improvement in regards to players. So if clubs have better players, that means national teams have better players. So in the future, of course, as you know, there will be an increase in the number of teams that participate in the World Cup, and of course there will be an increase in the number of teams that participate from Africa. So that's just very exciting. So when you think about that, you think about the role that the clubs have, and the clubs have to be able to continue that rhythm in order to make sure that they're generating those players that we want to see at the national team. So all the big stars that that you've seen at the FIFA World Cups, you associate them with their clubs as well. So it's absolutely important that the clubs continue to do their work, which is imperative to the whole system.
Yeah. Just two last questions. One is for the image we saw when we were about to host the World Cup.
Yeah.
The world, especially the media, painted a certain not so good image about us, but they were shocked when they came, especially the fans. They were shocked when they came and saw how infrastructure was in terms of everything, how it worked so well, and they were impressed. But the image, how is FIFA going to, in terms of helping Africa also move forward in football, trying to help and make sure that we take the good things that we do into the world, so the world can start to see us in a different, positive light.
South Africa is a beautiful country. Let's be honest, it's a beautiful country filled with beautiful people and beautiful football. So the idea for our case studies at FIFA, the FIFA Professional Football case studies, is to promote that precisely. So we're going to promote 2 clubs in this visit, but in the future, of course, we'll continue to promote other clubs. And the idea is to show the world, show other clubs around the world that they can learn from the clubs in Africa as well. So we're looking forward to publishing the case studies on Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs in March. So we'll be sure to send you the information so that you're able to also transmit those case studies to your audience, and we'll share it around the world.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming through. Hopefully
thank you guys
into the country
of
soon.
course, definitely. Thank you,
my brother. Shompo, you're on another level. you're playing your best football. You're at the best club. You've reached the highest in terms of club African football. You've achieved that. You've gone to where other clubs haven't gone in terms of going to the Club World Cup. Tell us about your journey as personally, as a player, as a person who loves football, as a person who's a professional. Just share about what you've just reached, your goals, your targets that you've just managed to get into, lifting the leagues, lifting the Champions League trophy, lifting the Super Cup, going to represent South Africa at club level at the World Cup. Just share your experience.
Well, firstly, let me just thank my mom, my family, people who supported me when I started playing football. It hasn't been an easy journey, to be honest. When I started, it has been a long and hard. A lot of sacrifices has been made for me to be a player that I am today. Looking back where I come from, and the amount of sacrifice, the amount of work that I've put. I should be very proud of my work personally, the dedication that I have, and it has been required me a lot of hard work, to have that consistency to do it over and over, one thing again at a time. So look, I can just be proud of my work, and at the same time, it has been an extra motivation to look for another victory out of the things that I've already won. Going to Lubumbashi, I think, was a turning point of my career altogether, because I then looked football in another eye, that we as South African, we're very, very fortunate to have the things that we have, and yet we don't cherish them, we don't take them as serious as we should. And looking the things, how things are happening in Africa, in West Africa, it then opened my eyes to try to start and not take anything for granted. And it had helped us, it has helped the team to achieve whatever we achieved in the last 4 years. And I think it was a turning point for ourselves as a team. And personally, I've grown to see things different, to have seen life as a person. So I've grown, I've matured in this game, and I've seen a lot happening in my life, things that I've never thought would happen to me. And look, I've managed to welcome the Orlando Pirates team that came from Abidjan when I was still 11 years old. I remember I went to ask my mom at work to really allow me to go to Jan Smuts Airport then, and she did. And looking at that team, I think it's a team that really shaped me as a person, shaped me to be the player that I really wanted to be. And I then saw my idols winning the Champions League. The only thing that came into my mind was to make sure that I try and play in the Champions League, which I did, and which came as a shock and a surprise that I'm the only captain that I have ever won the Champions League. So it's a story that I can tell the whole week, that we'll never hear the end of it, because it was a shocking story to learn. So yeah, I just have to be happy with everything that is happening in my life. I've been to Club World Cup, things that I have never seen myself in. I've been to Alexandra lifting the trophy. So I'm happy as a player. I think I should be proud with everything that I have achieved.
Your family, when they see you getting to the stage, you said when Pirates were coming back to South Africa with the trophy in 1995, you had the dream, and now you are achieving it. How has that affected the family, obviously in a positive way? Your parents, when they see you becoming the special player that you've been, which you've dished that to the national team, you've served the Mamelodi Sundowns, which is the best team ever in terms of the cream of Mamelodi Sundowns. This is the highest the team has ever gotten, and you at their hand, and they seeing you on TV day in and day out and doing the great job. How is the family seeing you as you've grown, as a person, as a person, as a son, as you've grown and lifting all these big accolades?
Well, obviously they happy, they're excited to have their son, living his dream. I remember when I was young, the only thing I ever knew was to play football, and they knew that when I was young. The only thing they all wanted to see me doing was to play football, and I just wish my late uncle and my late brother was still alive to really witness everything that is happening in my life, because those are the people who never, not even once, doubted my ability as a footballer. I remember they allowed me to go play the regional under 11s. When I was young, I would come back home late at night. They would wait for me at the bus stop where there was no electricity in the village. They would stay there in the dark waiting for me. So those are sacrifices which they made for me to be the person I am today. And I don't take football for granted, because football has shaped me. Football has made the person I am today. Football has made my family. Football has done a lot in my life. So when I look at football, I always bow, because it reminds me the person I really am. It reminds me of the sacrifice that my late uncle had made, my late brother has made, my late granny has made, as well as my mom. When I look at her every day, I don't have enough words to really thank her for the sacrifice she has made for me and my siblings as well. You know, a lot of sacrifice, like I said. You know, they took me to an academic school when there is nothing at home, but I made it there. And I always, when I step into the field, I always know that there is people that I really represent. There is people that really are looking up to me, that I shouldn't even try to let them down. So it's something that really matters in my life. That wherever they are, they should be very proud of their son.
Wow. Okay. Now the last question. What's this is the last one. What are your targets now as Lompo moving forward? You've just won almost everything. What the fans and the people and your family and everybody who follows you and the Sundowns fans, what's the next chapter for Lompo Kakane moving forward in terms of your career in football?
Well, it's always nice to win trophies as a player. You always can't get enough of the feeling of winning a trophy. It's a special moment. I always told, I used to tell my mom that, you know, winning my league medal, my first league medal, was a very special thing that has ever happened in my life. You know, coming from Black Leopard, that the team that I was relegated to come and be a champion of South African football, it was something that I have ever imagined. So I always tell my mom that, you know, the first league medal that I won was a special one, until I won the Champions League, and you can name the trophies that I have won. I remember going to Alexandria in Egypt. The first person that I called after receiving the trophy was my mom, to tell her, and I thought winning my league medal was special. You'd have got no idea about winning the Champions League. It's a special feeling that I don't know, I will have a cherish in my entire life. And it's a story that I really need to tell my kids and everyone I know. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.